meeting. Today's Thursday, March 26th, and I'd like to call the meeting to order. We'll have the invocation today presented by Commander Chaplain Leslie Walker, who's on Zoom.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon to everyone. Happy Ramadan to our brothers and sisters. Thank you for your faithfulness during the month. Let's pray. Father, mercy and grace, lead and guide us now with your wisdom, your knowledge, and understanding. Thank you for this dedicated Board of Police Commissioners staff dedicated to the service of the city of Detroit.
Do we have the chaplain?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, it's very low. We're having,
Well, let me start over.
okay, now we can hear
I'm
you.
sorry.
Okay.
Thank you so much for our Muslim brothers and sisters during this time of Ramadan. We thank you for your faithfulness and dedication this month. Father, we thank you now for your goodness, mercy, and your grace. We thank you for who you are. We thank you for your wisdom and knowledge and understanding and leading forth this Board of Police Commissioners meeting today. Give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in all that we do. Give us a spirit of agreement. Give us a spirit of love. And we thank you, and we thank you, and we lift you up now. We give you the honor and the praise. Thank God. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. At this time, if we could have this, Madam Secretary, give the roll call.
Madam Chair, Commissioner DeWalsh,
Present.
Commissioner Woods,
Present.
Commissioner Bowman,
Present.
Commissioner Camille,
Present.
Commissioner Jones,
Present.
Commissioner Morris, Commissioner Watts,
Here.
Commissioner Williams,
Present.
Commissioner Ivy is excused, and we do expect Commissioner Carter to be present.
Thank you.
Presently, you have 7 present, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Next, we have, if I could get a motion to approve the March 26th agenda, today's agenda.
So moved.
It's been moved by Commissioner Woods, seconded by Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of March 19th, 2026?
So moved.
Support, Madam Chair.
It's been moved by Commissioner Watts, supported by Commissioner Jones. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. We also have minutes from closed session March 19th, 2026 regarding Police Officer Karima Yap. Is there a motion?
So moved, Madam Chair.
It's been moved by Commissioner Jones,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Woods. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. And there are minutes for a second closed session, March 19th, for applicant appeal Justin Gardner. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Woods, seconded by Commissioner Jones. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. At this time, Madam Secretary, could you introduce the staff, Chief of Police, elected officials, representatives, and community leaders that are present?
Madam Chair, through the chair, present at this time are as follows: Janya Underwood, Teresa Blossom, Dior Mathis, Candace Hayes, Armani Arnold, Armicia Joshua, Mary Barber, Felicia Tyson, Drew Fries, Chief of Police Todd Bettison and Deputy Chief Carrie Sloan are present. Katrina Patillo, DPD HR Director. BOPC Chief Investigator Jerome Warfield Sr. Supervising Investigator Hiller is also present. Court reporter today is Betty Sanders of Hanson Court Reporting. Our interpreters today are Angelique Taylor and Stephanie Beatty. Audio, Enrique Jackson. Media Services, Charles Henry. Ms. Marie Overall, Administrative Assistant to State Representative Tyrone Carter. Ms. Frida Butler, Second Precinct Community Activist. Mark Young, President of the Lieutenant and Sergeants Association. Former Police Commissioner Ricardo Moore is on Zoom, as well as former Police Commissioner William Davis is on Zoom as well, Madam Chair. And those are registered at this time.
Thank you. Next, we have a resolution honoring retired Reserve Sergeant Bruce Edward Johnson posthumously. This resolution will be presented to the Family Division during funeral services being held tomorrow. And Commissioner Jones will be reading the resolution.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a resolution honoring retired Reserve Sergeant Bruce Edward Johnson. Whereas on November 7th, 1996, Bruce Edward Johnson began his distinguished service with the Detroit Police Reserve Corps, and upon successful completion of the Detroit Police Reserve Academy, was assigned to the 10th Precinct. And whereas throughout his tenure, Reserve Officer Johnson devoted himself to the mission of the Detroit Police Department, generously volunteering his time and service to the community while supporting numerous city events and initiatives. And whereas he was widely recognized for his immaculate appearance, professionalism, and unwavering commitment to the residents, visitors, and stakeholders of the city of Detroit. And whereas throughout his career, retired Reserve Sergeant Johnson exemplified the highest standards of integrity, dedication, and public service, leaving a lasting and meaningful impact on the department and the community he so proudly served. And therefore be it resolved that, thank you, and therefore be it resolved that the Detroit Board of Police Commissioners does hereby honor, recognize, and pay tribute to retired Reserve Sergeant Bruce Edward Johnson for his 29 years of exemplary service. And be it further resolved that this resolution be presented posthumously as a lasting expression of gratitude and appreciation for his life, service, and enduring legacy to the Detroit Police Department and the city of Detroit. Madam Chair, I move that we accept the resolution honoring retired Reserve Sergeant Bruce Edward Johnson.
Thank you. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Morris. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all. And at this time, we'd like to ask for the Chief of Police report. Thank you.
Greetings to the board, Madam Chair. I'll start out with our overview of crime. Criminal homicides, we're up 3.3%. So this year we have 31. Last year at the same time we had 30. Sexual assaults up 1%. So we have one more than we did last year at the same time, which was 105. But last year was 104. The category of robbery, we're down 10.4%, so 19 fewer than the year before last. Burglary, which Madam Mayor is really focused on, one of the priorities that the Sheffield administration will be focused on is property crimes, quality of life as well. And with our burglaries, we're down 21.1%, so 195 fewer than last year. Larcenies, we're down 12.9%. That's the step of an item from an individual. And we continue to trend down in motor vehicle theft, down 195, so we're down 15.3%. Violent crime, we're down 1% roughly, and property crime down 15%. Carjackings, we continue to just trend down. It's just really amazing when we look at the carjacking trends just continue to go down compared to where we had been in prior years. This year we're at 14. Last year this time we had 17, so 3 fewer, which is down 17.6%. In the category of non-fatal shootings, down 11.1%, where last year this time we had 63. Now we're sitting at 56. The efforts of the men and women of the Detroit Police Department, along with community collaboration, to get these type of results. Working together is giving us a tremendous return on our investment. A high-profile case that got a lot of the community's attention was the missing 14-year-old. And I just want to really thank the Sex Crimes Unit, give my Media Relations Director, Jasmine Barmore, the 8th Precinct Commander Lever, and everybody involved for their outreach, the family searching for her. She did come back, and she did disclose as to where she had been. As a result, we did find out that she had been sexually assaulted, and we were able to arrest the individual that did that. He was a 37-year-old male, defendant Rondell Tremel Aggie, and so he's been charged by the Wayne County prosecutor. He's been charged with 4 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct, 1 count of kidnapping, and 4 counts of third-degree criminal sexual conduct, and also delivery of controlled substance marijuana to a minor. When it comes to missings, we will be relentless as far as putting out the information, seeking the community's help to make sure that we're right there with the families to conduct any search and ensure that we protect our most vulnerable, regardless of who they are, whether they're youth, seniors, etc. Traffic enforcement, of course, is always a major concern, keeping our freeways and roads safe. From March 15th to the 21st, Traffic Enforcement Unit conducted operations in the 2nd, the 3rd, the 9th, the 11th, and the 12th precincts. Officers made over 410 traffic stops, issued 847 tickets for moving violations, 169 tickets were issued for speeding. I know they're out there because people were calling me asking me what was going on these different thoroughfares, like why do we see so many cops? And so that's me keeping my commitment as far as ensuring that we do traffic enforcement in the city. And on more upbeat items, Hooping with Cops is currently registering boys for their 2026 season. The Hooping with the Cops is free to Detroit Youth Recreational Basketball League in partnership with the Detroit Police Department and the Detroit Parks and Recs that will foster trust between law enforcement and male youth between the ages of 11 through 17 through mentorship and basketball. The season will run March 30th through June 13th, with games being played at the Detroit Powell Recreation Center. Parents can register by calling 313-833-1600. Once again, 313-833-1600. We also are continuing our effort with Tied to Success, where the Offices of Community Outreach and Engagement in collaboration with Lieutenant Mark Young and Rodney Sizemore. Let's give it up for Mark Young and Rodney Sizemore, the LSA. They are seeking donations of new and gently used ties for our upcoming Brotherhood Summit. Detroit residents can drop off donations in the lobby of the Detroit Public Safety Headquarters. Donations will be accepted through today, March 26th. So, Mark and Rodney, I'm going to bring you some ties. I'm going to say I looked in that basket, man. Some people just getting rid of some ugly ties. So, I want some brothers to give. So I want some people to give some decent looking ties to our young people, because some of them. Yeah. So I'm bring y'all some real good ties. Okay, you will get that donation from me tomorrow. Yes, I'm gonna donate it. And graduation 2026C will be graduating this Friday, March the 27th. We're going to graduate 24 student police officers that will take the oath of office and become sworn Detroit police officers. One of the members is a Detroit Fire Department employee, and of course they have to be dual trained when they're going to be assigned to the arson unit. Graduation exercise will take place at 10:30 a.m. at Greater Grace Temple, located at 23500 West 7 Mile Road, Detroit, Michigan. And I encourage everyone to come out and get an opportunity to see. It's an amazing experience. And I want to just thank this board, because I've been around a long time, but I've never seen as many board members show up to a police graduation than with this board. So I think you guys are making history. It amazes me. So thank you very much. And that right there concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Chief. Are there any questions?
Madam Chair, I have a few.
Yes, go
Thank
ahead,
you so
Commissioner
much
Camille.
for recognizing me. So thank you for the report, Chief. I appreciate you for being here in person as well. I know you're busy. I have a couple items for you. So last week, my colleague, Commissioner Bowman, and I had an opportunity to attend the resiliency training that was offered to DPD members, and it wasn't what I expected, but I think the content was very valuable. And if it doesn't already exist in the academy and in annual training as mandatory, I'd like to discuss how we can make that possible. I did give some feedback to the instructor to spend a little bit more time engaging the participants in how to apply what's being learned there in on-the-job examples so that officers can kind of connect the dots on that. But I think the training would be helpful to maintain the mental wellness of the officers and put them in the best state of mind when engaging with the public in a safe manner.
Thank you for that. Through the chair, thank you. And with Assistant Chief Ewing and our training facility staff, we will work to bring that to fruition.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for that consideration. The other item I have is in regards to Sherman Lee Butler, who was killed on July 12th and 24. So since then, I've been getting snippets of systemic changes that have occurred since that tragedy, things like DPD radios being collected from the bailiffs and policy changes in 36th District Court, which was just shared with City Council last week. So to close the loop with the public, I would like to request that DPD and 36th District Court develop a joint presentation that communicates the following things. So one, what DPD and bailiff policies were violated in the incident, and how were the officers and bailiff held accountable for those violations? The next thing I would like to see it include is what humanity violations occurred. So not technically policy violations, but failure to honor Sherman's humanity, and what policies, processes, practices, and training changes were implemented based on the lessons learned from that incident.
I'll be very careful. I don't know whether or not there's any pending lawsuits or anything with that. So when we talk about humanity violations, I would definitely take that under advisement, and I defer to Corp Counsel right now. But as far as a presentation, I don't have a problem with doing a joint presentation along with the bailiffs. My whole philosophy is, when you look back at an incident, how can you ensure that you put things in place so that you're continuously improving and making it better? So on the spirit of it, absolutely. And I don't know if Corp Counsel has anything to say.
Through the chair, Commissioner, we will look at that. I mean, the caution that the chief raises is the right one. I don't know what the legal status of that particular circumstance is right now, but we will certainly make sure to assist with the reach out to 36D and come up with something. I'm almost positive that the bailiff is being sued. I don't know, in addition to the bailiff, whether or not 36D or the city of Detroit. So I will check, and then we will be guided by that in terms of, and we'll certainly let you know.
Thank you so much for that consideration. Madam Chair, I just have two more items, please. So this is going back to Ms. M. Brown, that's been before the board twice regarding harm that she experienced in the progress of her investigation. And Chief, just want to let you know that it's come to my attention that she's had now another contact from DPD that she continues to be dissatisfied with, which is concerning. And I know the board is going to be provided with some additional information around her case, so appreciate that. I'd also like to offer to her, and also to place DPD and OCI, because I know OCI also has a case for her, on notice that I'm offering to be present for both accountability and support for any additional meetings that DPD or OCI has with her. I've had an opportunity to sit in a few scenarios like that with constituents, and I think that It helps to ensure that the board has line of sight into what is going on, as well as to provide support. And I also just want to recommend to my colleagues that really anyone that petitions us, I mean, oftentimes we do refer them to DPD or OCI, that we just make a practice of following all of those, and we can, talk about a system by which to do so, and just to make ourselves available for any meetings with the complainant so that we can follow the matters that come before us and own those. And then the last item I have is to circle back to, on February 19th, the board approved a recommendation to place DPD members Corsi and Wallet on administrative leave without pay, but with medical benefits for 30 days. Are there any updates for the board on what DPD has decided to do, or what next steps are for these members?
Through the chair, the 30-day expiration period has expired, that the board placed them on suspension without pay, but with full medical benefits. And so those two members have been restored back to full duty.
In their same capacity?
Yes.
So is there anything that the department can share with the board and the public to reassure that the behaviors that were exhibited do not occur again with these officers and anybody?
The behaviors will not occur again. The message has been sent department-wide. They all understand, and they are continue to go through the disciplinary process. It's going to be a chief hearing, and so as they go through the process, they will ultimately receive their discipline, and I'll update the board as to what that is. But the message has definitely been sent.
Through the chair, thank you, Chief.
Is that it? I would just like to add, before I go to the next commissioner, that I have been receiving some contact, or have been contacted by some leaders in the community with regard to these two officers, that once their 30 days has expired, they would like to see them assigned to other parts of the city and not Southwest Detroit because of their behavior as it relates to immigration issues. So I'm just passing, I'm the messenger. I agree with it too. I just want you to know. Thank you.
Through the chair, just to update the community based off of that concern, they were assigned back to their parent command, and neither one of the members are assigned to Southwest Detroit.
Okay, thank you. That's good to know. Thank you. Commissioner Woods?
Yes, thank you, Chief, and thank you for all the great work that's being done. I want to ask you in terms of officers who resign in lieu of, in which charges pending. If your office can make sure through the chair that we get a complete list for the last year, and so that we can be able to see what those numbers look like and stuff, because I know there's been a significant amount of officers who resign pending charges.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get that list. We'll compile it and get you the information that you request, Vice Chair Woods.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Watts?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Chief, for a great report. Thank you for the great work that you guys did for the 14-year-old young lady. And also, thank you for the officer yesterday was highlighted on Fox 2 News who when a senior citizen was in the middle of the street yesterday experiencing some challenges, and the cop came along, stopped the traffic, got out, and helped her across. So please send good regards to that officer for that great duty. A question I have for you, and it's related to the body cam. Now, I know a lot of cases that the board will receive, as you know, to look over some files. I used to get. But a lot of them concerning is there, and I know this may be a union issue, and I know it's probably concerning to you, is there any initiative or any effort to make sure more times than not that those cameras are turned on for the full time they are engaging the public?
We constantly and continuously communicate to our officers the importance of wearing their body cams and operating their body cams appropriately. And we're going to continuously do that. We have newer members that we bring on, and sometimes you'll have members that have been at commands that go to a new command that weren't wearing body cams, and they have to get adjusted. We have members that have left the department that have come back to the department also from other departments and getting reacclimated. I even have, in some situations, members that had retired or had a duty disability where, you know, they have been able to get themselves back together to come back. So it's always a continuous training aspect. But for members that, through the disciplinary matrix, that violate the policy when it comes to their body-worn cameras, they do receive progressive discipline, and we hold individuals accountable. But for the most part, we see that when incidents happen, we're able to pull the body cams, and that's, you know, allows us to be able to get to the matter of fact of what actually happens. And then I have to remind my members too that sometimes turn the body cam off because, you know, sometimes we see more than we want to see. And I remind folks of that. You know, our officers are human, and, you know, sometimes they forget to turn it off when they actually go to the restroom. So when you're doing a body-worn camera audit, you know, it's like, oh, it saw more than we wanted to see. So, you know, I just give you the real when it comes to body cams.
Right.
They have them on.
Thank you for that. That's why I said when they're engaging the public.
I'm seeing a lot. Like,
Yeah, but thank you for that, because that goes to the heart of the transparency that can support the citizens as well as DPD. But thank you for that.
yep.
Commissioner Morris?
Start off, following up off of what Commissioner Watts was saying. On that particular encounter, I was on Woodward, and I witnessed it myself. So the officer, he stopped the traffic. There was an elderly lady having a hard time timing her, her travel across the, 7 Mile Road. The officer got out, walked up to the lady, greeted her, and assured her, hey, I'm here to help you get across. He took his time, made sure, because she was trying to hurry. He said, no, you ain't got to hurry. Let her pace herself across. I don't know what he said to her, but whatever he said to her, I seen her laughing and smiling. And then me just being a person who I observe a lot of stuff, I looked at the surrounding traffic, and there were people who were slowing down, who was stopping, who was like amazed, and who was proud of the actions of that officer. So what I did was, as the officer got back in his car and proceeded going eastbound, I went eastbound, wait till we got to the red light and pulled up beside him. And I said, hey, sir, I said, I just want to make it publicly known at the board meeting, your actions. I said, what is your name and your badge number? And he did identify himself as Officer Rock, badge number 3601. So definitely proud. That is the two things that I was just inquiring about, Chief, is, the Tracy Allen, the lady who was shot 6 times on the traffic stop. Has there been any updates from the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office as to if they would issue charges or if they would deny the warrant?
I don't have that information yet. I'm still waiting. And as soon as I get the phone call and she makes her decision, you'll be the first to know.
Yes, sir. And then the final thing is the FOIA. Who is the officer in charge over the unit that is responsible for responding to people's FOIA requests? We are seeing quite a bit of complaints of people who are, doing FOIA requests to the department for various information, for various purposes. And there's been a long delay and they still haven't heard anything back. What is generally the timeline that it generally takes to get that FOIA, get them responded to as to a decision of that FOIA, and who is the individual who is the point of contact over that department?
So I'm going to defer because it's a combination of the law department and DPD as well. And so I'll kick it over to Grant High really quick. And so, Grant, are you in the room?
Yes, he's coming in.
Did you hear the question, Grant?
No, sir.
Commissioner Morris asked in regard to FOIA, there's been complaints about the delay in FOIA. So he asked specifically who's in charge of FOIA. And I said I would kick it over to you, and then what's the process? And I know that the law department is involved in it as well.
That's correct.
So you can give an update.
Through the chair, how the FOIA process works is when a person or an entity makes a FOIA request, then that comes to, specifically in regards to the Detroit Police Department, it goes to the police law unit. The police law unit sends it out to the respective unit, and if the matter is closed and not active, then it would be forwarded to the law department, and the law department makes a determination in regards to what redaction or what exceptions apply in regards to the law. However, if the matter is closed, if the matter is open and active, then that is not released. So that is the process.
Okay, and who is the point of contact? If, let's say, the commissioner's got a complaint from, one of our constituents that, hey, I did a FOIA request for certain information, I haven't heard anything back, who would be our point of contact that we would contact to follow up on that?
That would be the executive manager over the police law unit. That's Michelle Harris.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
You can find her on Outlook. As soon as you type in her name, it'll pop up.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Does that conclude your
That's
question? Okay. Any other, let the record show that we've been joined by Commissioner Carter. Are there any other questions?
And joined by me. Y'all did roll call before I got here, too.
Oh, I'm sorry, and Commissioner Morris. I thought she mentioned your name, sorry. Okay, so no other questions? Thank you, Chief, for that report. We really appreciate it. Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Bowman, go ahead.
Yes. Last week we had Deputy Chief Mark Bliss was filling in for you, and I asked a question, and he said that I could submit the question and definitely could possibly eventually get an answer, but I'm not quite sure if I need to do anything further than that verbal request or if I need to now send an email. The question was, just so you hear it as well, I was inquiring on how many violent incidents were interrupted as a result of ShotSpotter where no other call was made, in other words, no 911 call reporting the same shots, and how many cases of a violent crime or arrests for a violent crime resulted from the information of ShotSpotter. And I was interested in that information.
I will get you that information. I don't have it handy right now, but you don't have to do anything else.
Okay.
We have it, and we will get you that response in writing.
Thank you.
Yes.
Commissioner Woods.
Yeah, through the chair. And can you ensure that when you have people sitting in that seat, and it shouldn't take a week for him to get that information, especially if you got it at a click of a button, that they communicating this properly to be able to get this information to us in a timely manner. We would deeply appreciate that, because it's kind of, disingenuous that he had to come and ask for this again today, and that information that have not gotten to him within a week.
So noted, Commissioner Woods. The only thing I would say in defense of staff right now is the anomaly has been making sure that we get our budget passed, and with the questions that's coming from council, my staff has been completely inundated with all of their questions, and so I'm even having to put some more folks in there to because the questions are still coming in from budget. And being respectful to the board, you had to get that budget passed. So this is something that is a little out of the ordinary, but it should be over soon. But we will get.
We've been getting the same thing, but
Yep.
A click of a button, you guys got that information is in the system. You can get that to us in a timely manner so that we could do our job, because we do have 5 commissioners who have signed a letter asking City Council not to move forward with ShotSpotter. That's not my position overall, you know what I'm saying, until we assess everything. We want to look at everything. And so I think that is something for us to be able to see and digest and to look at whether it should exist. You know what I'm saying? I think that's paramount to the city of Detroit, whether or not we have it, especially if it's doing what it's supposed to do or if it's not, that would give us a chance to digest it so that we can have proper guidance on it.
Through the chair, so noted, Commissioner Woods, and we'll definitely get you that information. And on something that important, I want to ensure that we assume it's the click of a button, but I want to double check, and verify, and I got to put my eyes on it.
Double click.
I got to put my eyes on it before that,
Yeah.
on that high level comes. I just got to make sure it's right.
Yes, sir.
We will get you that information, Commissioner Bowman.
Thank you. And since you brought up the budget, I just want to say very quickly that we did have a hearing this week. I'm like,
Was it
this week? It was this week. Spent a lot of hours down at City Council. Responded to a lot of questions. The chief did a great, outstanding job for the department. And then we also had our budget hearing right after the DPD. And I, answered, again, a lot of questions were fielded by the council members, and still, even after our hearing, we're getting a lot of questions that we still have to respond to. But I wanted to just thank the commissioners who have been working on this on the budget committee, as well as on our budget committee, the BOPC budget committee, as well as who attended the meeting at City Council this week, and also especially to the staff. Our staff have worked so diligently on preparing us and preparing our package for the City Council for our budget. Our OCI chief, our secretary, and especially our budget, our finance person, also worked very, very hard. Our fiscal manager, Drew Freeze, and is still working in tandem with the departments and the city's budget people. So we're hopeful that those will both pass, yours especially and ours especially, but we're still waiting. And so thank you all for your hard work and diligence for several months to get this budget in City Council's hands. So at this time, we're at oral communications and public comments, and please remember that your comments are limited to 2 minutes. Inappropriate language and comments will not be tolerated, and they may delay the TV broadcasts and video posts. So do we have our first speaker?
Yes, Madam Chair. Our first speaker will be Cecilia Leakston. Please state your name for the record, followed by Teron Haynes and Margaret Laredo.
Excuse me. My name is Cecilia Leskin. Do I have permission to speak?
Yes, go ahead, please.
So to the honorable members of the Board of Police Commissioners, I was asked to come today and speak about my experience working as a forensic technician for the Detroit Police Department. If you were to ask my friends and family, they would confirm that I speak on this experience fondly almost every day. I talk about my love for this job and the work that I did, and how much I miss it. Yes, yet they would also confirm that I have stated that I would never come back to work at the Detroit Police Department. From my first day of training to my last, it was made very apparent that the crime scene services was an afterthought of the department. We were lacking tools and equipment to be able to effectively process scenes, and we were not provided with materials such as gloves to process biohazardous scenes as well. We would be forced to bring our own, or wear sizes that were too small or too large, among other equipment that we had to provide for ourselves. Oftentimes, standard processing procedures would be ignored or disregarded, and not by our choice. Chain of custody does not follow the best practices in the city of Detroit. If there were pieces collected by officers before our arrival, they would often turn it over to us without proper documentation, and if complaints were made in this regard, we were often told to just keep the piece with the officers and do as they say. Additionally, I was personally forced to work several 16-plus hour shifts due to lack of staff and our being overworked. This directly impacted my mental and physical health, and any complaints that were made were viewed as insubordination. These are only a portion of the treatment we received and the conditions we had to work through. I do not say this to you simply to complain or because I want pity. I bring these issues up today because I believe that those working at the department and the citizens of Detroit deserve better. This job was once my dream and passion, yet the working conditions, blatant disrespect for our role, lack of following proper collection procedures, and poor management of resources is what pushed me to leave that dream behind. I hope that more can be done to improve these conditions, as the Crime Scene Services Unit is full of passionate, hard workers who want the best for the city, and Detroit citizens are deserving of the very best. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good
Madam Chairman.
afternoon.
May I be heard?
Yes, of course.
My name is Teron Haynes. Thank you for giving me the chance to speak. To reintroduce myself, I'm a former member of DPD through Crime Scene Services or its forensic unit. Today I've brought with me former members who will make public comment to the board. I also have with me anonymous letters from current members of the Crime Scene Services unit, letters that will be made available to the board, to board members after this meeting. I want to remark that these letters are anonymous because of deep fear of retaliation from the police department. We are here to request justice, not just for the members working in the unit, but for citizens of Detroit. The service that these individuals provide for Detroiters is unmatched. They persist with no recognition without the department's assistance. This unit deserves major reform from the top down. That reform starts with the leadership in the unit. The same leadership, I'm not going to say that yet. I have received permission to read a small excerpt from one of the letters. When we are hired, we are required to either have or be working towards a 4-year degree in physical science. That is it. We are told that we will be trained on the job beginning on your first day. You will be partnered with another technician and they will show you the ropes. That is how you are trained, subject to the preferences of whomever you were assigned to. An attempt was made to create a training program as suggested by current technicians, but has only been implemented within the last 2 new hires, both of whom had quit within 6 months. Every current technician has been trained outside of any formal training program. We are required to attend an accredited training course. However, the timeline for that course to be taken is not specified. I was sent to a week-long course hosted by the FBI over a year after I started. The course was interesting, useful, and eye-opening to the ways in which we as a unit do not meet the baseline standards for processing crime scenes and handling evidence. It was made apparent during that course that DPD has a reputation for the way that they handle their crime scene unit, and it is not a good one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for this platform. May I speak?
Yes.
My name is Margaret Lavallo, and I am a former DPD Crime Scene Services forensic technician. I was with the department for 6 years, from 2018 to 2024, and I left the department 2 years ago and now feel safe enough to be able to speak about some of my experiences, again, without fear of retaliation. I left the department, to be frank, because of the deplorable working conditions that we were subjected to, as well as a blatant lack of safety and concern for the forensic technicians, and a blatant disregard for the quality of work that we performed. The Crime Scene Services unit, while I was working there, our base was called a dump by other sworn officers, and they are not wrong. While I was there, we were subjected to leaking roofs, to flooding facilities. We didn't have any locker rooms, so if we had to change, we were forced to change in our open garage. We had bug infestations, a lack of biohazard disposal facilities, a lack of safe processing areas to handle biohazardous evidence, and we had biohazardous fumes improperly vented right next to our working facilities, putting us in a great risk of exposure. This resulted in several OSHA complaints that had no follow-through with the department. We also had a lack of safety at scenes. The officers that accompanied us, that are supposed to be responsible for clearing our scenes and keeping us safe, did not do their jobs. We were at scenes where there were suspects still found on scenes. There were firearms that were not recovered from individuals that should not have been on scenes, and people who should not be allowed within that perimeter have been able to enter that perimeter and put us at risk. We've asked to collect evidence in unsafe ways, as my colleagues have said, and that just, whenever we would speak about that, we were threatened with insubordination and told to just, again, keep that peace. And I'm here speaking because the people of Crime Scene Services deserve better, and the citizens of Detroit deserve better as well. Thank you for this time.
Thank you.
Marcel Vasila, Jacob Smith, and Ms.
Here.
Shamika Brown. Please state your name so the court reporter can get your name correctly.
Before you speak, could I just ask Commissioner Bowman, I think he had a question for the previous.
Well, actually, I can put it just in terms of information rather than having to request it now. I would say to anybody from Crime Scene Services that email me directly at scott.bowman@detroitmi.gov, and that's BOMAN. I have an unusual last name spelling. With anything, because, I mean, assuming, and I don't have no reason to believe otherwise, but I have to say it this way, assuming these allegations are accurate, the people involved, the former employees, they're the ones who would know where the proverbial bodies are buried, basically, where to look to find support for evidence of these problems, and that would also then help us hopefully make things right however we can, because this is extremely serious. It's very important. It affects a lot of people's lives, what kind of evidence makes it to a trial, if evidence can make it to a trial. And that's very important. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you have a question? One more question.
Yes, Madam Chair, just quickly, I know the last speaker referenced my OSHA report, so I was just going to say, whoever I can we request the my OSHA reports for that particular unit for the last 5 years?
Agreed.
Madam Chair?
Yes,
I agree with my colleague's request as well from Commissioner Watts. In addition, we've been getting this feedback for the last couple weeks, and on the 16th of March, I requested through our secretary for an urgent tour of CCS for the commissioners, and unfortunately that didn't get scheduled until the 1st of April. Chief, do you have any insights into why we couldn't come into CCSS immediately?
No, I don't. So I don't. And with these allegations, which are serious allegations, this is, I did get an update about some of the complaints, but, to say it's been going on this long, as I say to everyone, these are allegations, serious allegations, no doubt, but I've been on the department a long time, and this is my first time hearing of this. And with the Wayne County prosecutor and throughout my colleagues and in law enforcement, I've only heard about DPD and how we process things being stellar. And so this is completely shocking to me, but nevertheless, we will dig in to make sure that we investigate this thoroughly and completely so that the community and the public trust is there. So, and we'll make sure that I'll be there with you when as long as I'm available, I'll be there as well. But we will get you over there to be able to see it and get you the MIOSHA reports as well.
Chief, could we move that date up, please? Could you look into that?
I sure will.
Thank you. Next speaker, go ahead.
May I be heard?
Yes, of course.
Okay. As many of you know already, my name is Marcel, and I'm part of the Detroit Alliance, a grassroots organization fighting for police victims of police violence. There's not a lot to be said already about what I'm here for. We're just asking you guys to try to pass, a recommendation to City Council to review their body cam ordinance and to implement CPTA's and the Detroit Alliance's language from our own ordinance. And I guess today I just want to appeal to your guys' humanity. I genuinely don't believe the board consists of bad people. I know you guys are trying your hardest out there. And I genuinely want collaboration, not opposition. I'm not here just to complain or, just to make y'all lives terrible. I took PTO from my job today just to get here. I work at a warehouse. I'm just a regular dude trying to fight for what the community says. And, I think a lot of the pressure that comes from voting yes and no to this is due to the fact that it's kind of public facing, and I would just like to ask the board if our organizations can just meet with you guys in some capacity outside of this meeting, just so we can genuinely get to a place where we can see each other and without the cameras, without the lights, without the people around us, just talk and just see where we can genuinely collaborate on creating something that the community wants. Because to be honest, the City Council ordinance has been largely condemned by the community and fellow organizations. So hopefully we can build something better together and in a collaborative way, and just become stronger together and make Detroit better. So thank you.
Next speaker.
May be heard?
Yes.
All right. Hello, my name is Jacob Smith. I am also with the Detroit Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression, and I'm a resident of District 5. I am here, just like Marcel, to urge the board to recommend to City Council to take another look at the current ordinance revolving around the release of body-worn camera footage, and to recommend to them the language put forth in the People's Body Cam Ordinance as proposed by the Coalition for Police Transparency and Accountability and the Detroit Alliance. I've already said why I think it's a good idea, but I'll say it again in brief. I really do think that it provides a good standard for transparency that Detroiters really deserve in this city. And I think that the current ordinance that was passed by City Council last year does not go far enough. I know that's a volunteer position. You guys come to these meetings without pay. And because you ran for this, almost all of you, putting in your own work. And, it's taken a lot of dedication to even get here. And I know you're doing this because you really care about your community, especially for the electeds, your constituents in your district. And I think passing this recommendation forward to City Council, it'd be an incredible opportunity to show the people who voted for you that you really do care, because I know you do. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Madam Chair, while we wait for our next speaker,
Yes.
Can I
Go ahead.
be recognized? Thank you. So I know I received in my email some additional documentation from DARPA in regard, like a comparison chart showing the current ordinance, pieces of the current ordinance and the ordinance that DARPA and CPTA is recommending. I think it was 3 points of difference. And so just want to thank DARPA for sending that information over. That was good additional information. I also just want to confirm and address in case any commissioners did not receive that information, just to make sure that that's in hand for everyone. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Next speaker.
Good evening. Good afternoon. My name is Shamika Brown, and I am mad, and I'm not taking it anymore. The Detroit Police Department needs to be held accountable. They do despicable things, and some of the members that doing these despicable things need to be held accountable. A magnifying glass need to be placed over the officers that do things that's unethical. Earlier, when you were talking about Sherman Butler, you said, "Oh, we can't talk about that. We won't talk about humanity for fear of a lawsuit." Humanity has to be front and center. I stand in solidarity with the People's Alliance. I think that we need a reform with the body cams. These entity, the Detroit police officers, they have me on body cam, half naked, downtown on the riverfront. I submitted several FOIAs. They ignore them. Your law officer ignores me. I'm tired of being laughed at. I'm tired of being ignored. My sexual assault kit, which I just found out was done right across the hall. They have it. It's been back. Why don't I know what my results are? Why do I have to plead and beg for my sexual assault results? My name is Shamika Brown. Follow me on Facebook under MIK space MIK. Meek. I'm mad, and I'm not taking anymore. And all of Detroit, if you're mad, come down here to these meetings and speak up.
Through the chair.
Yes, Commissioner.
Ms. Brown, thank you again for coming. I'm not able to step away from the meeting at the moment, but if you have time to stay through the end of the meeting, I would love to have a conversation with you afterwards, ma'am.
Who wants to?
Quick question.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
To the group or whoever.
A speaker,
representing.
please.
I'm sorry, just a quick question to the group. I know your presentation, and you've been asking this commission if they would consider sending something over to the Detroit City Council. Am I getting that right?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
My one question is, as the group gone before the Detroit City Council
Yes.
to talk about your initiatives and efforts?
Yeah, and they voted it down.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
so that's why we want the revision.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Next speaker.
Our next three speakers will be Cunningham, Ms. Fredia Butler, Mr. Dana Lung.
Three 313-444-9114, 313-444-9114, 313-444-9114. That number was made so you can remember it. You can reach out. You can check my Patreon. You can read articles just by Googling that number. And my Patreon is Brother Cunningham, so Patreon Brother Cunningham. So I give out bus tickets, hand warmers, gloves at the bus stops. The weather's breaking, so it's water and bus tickets. I want to give a shout out and a thanks to Commissioner Victoria for doing the bus ride along, for Commissioner Lavish for doing the bus ride along. We had a good time. And Chief, he does many ride alongs. He has no problem with the people, and it was always a good time with the Chief. Anyone in the sound of my voice that has influence, I would like to do a bus ride along with you and use social media. Hit me up at that number, 313-444-9114. I believe the neighborhood police should have some bus tickets, maybe like 30 or 40, just in case they see somebody who needs bus tickets, just to have it on hand. At events of the DPT holds, they should have bus tickets. I'm looking at poor folks. I'm poor. I know others are poor too. Bus tickets. My plate keeps going off as stolen out of Tennessee. My plate is no luck. I made copies of my registration. I just want to give one to Chief, if that's okay. I don't know what to do. Highland Parks pulled me over with guns. The next time just pulled me over. DPDs keep pulling me over. They check everything and they say, oh, it's a mistake. But I'm tired of the mistake. I don't know what else to do. It's actually dangerous. I'm a black male. I do not want to get hurt, harm, or none of that. I just want it to stop. The only thing else I can do is just change my plate. But I love my plate, and I don't think I should have to do that. And it keeps coming up stolen. So how do I go about, if any commissioner wants to see what I'm talking about, how do I get these papers to you all? And that's about it. And thank you for serving.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Okay, if we could get, yes, DC will help. Thank you. Okay, we have one question here, Commissioner Williams. Go ahead.
This is for Brother Cunningham. I just want to say I applaud you for the work that you do in the community as far as coming out of your own pockets and searching for your own resources to help other people with public transportation. And I just wanted to publicly say that to you.
That's good.
Yes, sir.
Through the
Thank you,
chair, I echo
Commissioner.
those sentiments. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. Next speaker.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
Commissioners. We must pay attention to the many changes the President has made and continues to make that affects us negatively, from tearing down the White House to the food we eat. He has caused the deaths of thousands of lives by denying food and medical assistance to the aid program, started wars, tried to take over Canada and Greenland, and iron Cuba, and more. He is also working to steal our elections so he can stay in office. Wake up, sleeping giants, and think. He can only be successful if we don't do our job and vote overwhelmingly to defeat his plans. If we don't have strong leaders to speak up and use the court system, our police officers will lose their authority to do their job. ICE is a private army for the president. He will use them at polls to intimidate voters. We also need to be prepared by having food and water in our homes. The people in Minneapolis were not prepared, and others provided for them. Because of ICE, they were not safe to leave their homes and nor send their children to school. Remember, we aren't free because we are denied DEI. Let's stay informed to keep the freedom it took 400 years to achieve. Stay woke. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, I am Mr. Lund, Dana Lund, that is. I am down here again. I've been coming down here since James Craig was the chief of police. I have been asking for that FOIA since 2016. They only gave me that FOIA in 2024, and they haven't did anything about it yet. The only FOIA they gave me was the audio. They never gave me the video. I've been abused by 2 Caucasian officers. As a colored man, I've been through 3 surgeries since that incident. The city of Detroit did nothing about it. I'm still going through the pain of what they did to me. This doesn't make any sense at all. All they do is throw me up under the bus, treat me like I'm a piece of trash. I pay my taxes. I've been treated like a dog in the street. But all they do is just throw me to the side, act like I'm not a human. I come down here to this meeting, the commissioners' meeting, since 2016, and all they do is push me to the side and always saying nothing to me, but there's nothing we can do about it. You have exhausted your time. That's all you say to me. But if it would have got on video, or if I would have died, then you would have did something about it. What is it? Can you tell me something, sir? Mr. Bennett.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir, but my staff, where I can meet with you afterwards, but I'm not familiar.
I
I'm not
emailed
familiar.
you, but I get nothing.
Madam
I got
Chair,
nothing in
if
return.
I might.
I even talked to the fifth floor. They never returned anything to me. I
Okay.
even tried the previous mayor, Duggan. They never responded. Even when I talked to the commissioners, they give me no response, much. Or they will take me out to the office, outside right there.
One second.
Yeah, that's what I
Corporation
was saying.
Counsel, yes.
Yeah, Madam Chairperson, Mr. Lund and I have had many conversations, and Mr. Lund, the last conversation.
We only had 2 conversations. I'm
more
not
than that,
trying to
more than that, sir. But
Only 2. I just got to know you, sir.
Be that as it may.
Yes.
The last conversation that you had with my office, though, was that your attorney was going to be calling me. That has not yet occurred. That was, today is Thursday, that was Monday or Tuesday of this week. If you will have your attorney call me, he and I, or she and I don't know who it is, there was no name associated with the message that you left. But whoever your attorney is, have them call so that if there is something to be resolved, we can get it done. I am open to speaking with your legal representative anytime they call. All they have to do is dial the number.
All they have to do is dial the number, but when I ask you guys about the officers and everything, they can get immunity. I want to know if I do anything wrong, can I get immunity too? Excuse me?
Through the chair.
Just a second, please. So can you follow up with Corporation Counsel and give him a call back and or have your attorney call him?
Yeah,
Please,
I have
okay.
no problem doing that.
All right. Commissioner Bowman, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I just want to say, I wasn't sure what the specific matter was that we weren't responding about.
Well, I'm sure he's talking about previous board members.
I filed for the FOIA since
Yeah,
2016. They never
2016.
gave it to me until 2024.
Okay.
You could share it with the current board, though it sounds like you already have a process going with the Corporation Counsel.
Well, he wasn't in at the time. Hiltner was in. And everything went on besides then. They didn't let me know that they discharged the officers or anything. I don't even know if they work in Roseville, East Point, Rose Point, Center Line, or nothing.
Commissioner Camille, did you want to say? Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Corporation Counsel, for providing some additional context. Understand that you're waiting to hear from this gentleman's attorney, but can you at least confirm, do you know if this gentleman has received everything that he's eligible to receive through the FOIA process, or if there's still items pending to be released to him?
Commissioner, we've responded to the FOIA, and I have gone through the record that Mr. Lund provided our office. He says there's a video. We've not been able to find it. So part of it is, Commissioner, is that what Mr. Lund says he should receive, we've not been able to find. Then once we say we can't find it, then of course the answer to the question is, well, you're not giving it to me as opposed to not finding it. This all started in 2016, 2026 now. One of the things I'll say, Commissioner, is I've said to Mr. Lund, which is why it's very important that we speak with his lawyer, is that the statute of limitations on this particular case and these kinds of cases has run. So if there is a legal distinction to be drawn, then the lawyer representing Mr. Lund needs to point out to us what that is and then file. We are open to having a dialogue, but as I've said, Commissioner, and you and I share this together, I represent the people of the city of Detroit, and in this particular instance, if there is not something, an exception to the statutory limitation rule, it would be irresponsible simply to, and without a judicial process that's going to test out all of these facts, as Mr. Lund believes them to be, it's going to be very, very difficult to reach the kind of result that he's looking for. But that's why the lawyer is important. They may have a information or have a thought or a theory different than mine that perhaps could create an opportunity for resolution.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, next speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have 3 speakers left in the room, and then we'll go to Zoom. Our next speaker will be Ms. Williams, followed by Ronald Foster and Mr. Smith.
Okay, I'm confused. How can we have, this is the Board of Commission right here. We got people sitting up here with your real names, but you on the Detroit Police Department with a fake name. I sat down with Camille a while ago. This woman behind me, she's on the Detroit Police Department too with a fake name, an ex-convict. So is this an invasion of ex-convicts on invading the Board of Commission? How dare you guys disrespect what Coleman Young started? And I don't care who you are with them badges. When you like you gonna threaten my life and intimidate me, like I said, I've been doing it the legal way. I'm going to continue. But if I feel threatened, I have to sleep next to my chopper every night because you all are not doing y'all job correctly. And I'm legal. My weapons are in my real name. I've been complaining about a whole lot of stuff. I'm not taking no more L's. The city's going to pay a whole lot dealing with this. And I'm tired. Like I said, you all have been talking about this too much, not doing your job, and it's not acceptable. I'm not on no social media, like Ms. Kim Worthy said. F***ing is illegal. You don't believe that? I can't tell, because you do it every time I come down here. From OCI, and I'm talking about people every day, union reps. You just want to continue to hack into my devices, which is illegal. And I'm tired of it, the bottom line. And if I'm fearing for my life every day because you all choose not to do your job, like I said, I'm not going to be slipping. You better believe that. And I don't care who you are when you disrespect that badge and you took that oath with that fake name and you think you entitled. You went to prison. Whatever you did, we shouldn't be held accountable, period. And I don't care, like I said, who you guys are or who you involved with. Like I said, only thing I fear is the Lord Jesus Christ. And I'm far from stupid, period. And you better believe that. Have a good one.
All right.
The next speaker.
Sleep next to the chopper.
Well, help us.
Good afternoon. Through this board, first off, I did see the presentation. I think you guys presented very well. I think that at some point we have to be more accountable for the dollars that we spend and start to change some trends. I want to speak to just both parties, our community and there. If you can identify a problem, then you can also identify a solution. And so we have to, when we identify our problems, then we should often ask for a solution as well, offer a solution. It may not be the right one or the only one, but it is a solution, a direction. When we talk about body camera, I want to remind this board, the filming of Rodney King, it was filmed. And so just capturing things, it's not enough. You have to change the culture of things, the dynamics of things, and the way that we police within our communities. When I hear these young ladies and our other community members speak, I hear a lot of hurt there. I'm not a physician, I'm not a psychologist, but I do have a heart, I do have a spirit. So you don't have to have all these degrees to be able to identify with hurt and pain here. And to allow and continue to allow these people to be in pain, I think is an egregious and a tragedy in and of itself. The position of this board and this chief today should be, we hear your pain. We are in the perfect opportunity to change things. We are committed to going in a new direction. Some things we can't fix, but some things we can. We can start today. This is the nature of the conversations that we should be having. I do appreciate our AC Ewing with his summit because it presents that perfect opportunity to speak candidly. And we have to find ways to incorporate our community in more of these. Racism is not enough to be turned at. FOIA is not nothing. Sexual assaults. We have to be more accountable to our community. Thank you.
Next speaker.
So I just want to say I'm going to be going to America's Future meeting later, Jonathan Smith for the record, and I have a lady who has a FOIA from 1.5 years ago regarding a traffic stop where she was illegally detained by Detroit Police Department for no reason. And she filed it with the law department, never got a response. And so she also has a FOIA from about 8 months ago from the Detroit Police Department as well, and where her son was questioned by Detroit Police, and he was smart enough to leave and go home because he didn't realize he had to invoke his Fifth Amendment right. So the law department is doing terrible work. Also, to the chief, you sitting here, how many open homicides do we have in the city of Detroit? Everybody who I know got a CPO still carry their gun. I don't feel safe. When I leave out the house, I don't feel safe. Even with the 2 officers downstairs, I don't feel safer. EPU, for the 13th floor for city council, I witnessed them. I had an officer ball his fist up and punch his hand. Officer Slade, punch his hand. I'm sitting there with my child yesterday. It was this close to having, it was going to be a physical altercation because you don't threaten citizens like that. He said something very unbecoming to Reuben Crowley yesterday as well. He whispered some expletives to him, which wasn't okay. Your lieutenant up there, the lieutenant who used to be a corporal, you promoted to lieutenant, she told me I was full of BULLSH blank T, IT, you know what I'm saying? Like that was not okay. That's not a curse word. And I also have this lawsuit here of Lavish, I was gonna bring it for you, Lavish Williams from my auntie, as I call her affectionately, Linda Bernard, where he has a lady named Gloria, I'm not gonna say her last name, but she lives on Arlene Street in District 2, where her husband, his name is Kevin, he signed for her. There was a child who signed for a mother. You cheated in the election. I'm gonna put this out, I'm gonna put this PDF, it's 56 pages, I'm gonna put it out. Also, Daryl Sawshank Redemption Woods alluded to the former sergeant being sexually assaulted in prison if he goes. That is that's the worst thing you could do to say that, because nobody wants to be SA'd. That's not okay. You shouldn't be alluding to things like that ever when it comes to that. And also, all the FOIAs that are happening, Conrad, you should make sure that you're doing something about those FOIAs instead of offering people $35,000. I can't do nothing with $35,000. That's unbecoming of an attorney, and I'm still gonna come for you. I'm still getting that thing. I make every promise whole when I make those promises. Every promise I make, I make it whole.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Every promise.
We'll go to Zoom now. We have 6 callers on Zoom.
Okay.
We'll start with Miss Crystal Rice, and then we'll go to caller with the last digit 039.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Crystal Rice. I want to first say I just moved to Detroit and bought a house in 24. A month after I lived here, I got carjacked at gunpoint. I do want to say the 2nd Precinct did a great job, but today I'm not happy. One of the police officers back in February, Sergeant Pierce, and I did file a report. I know I probably can't get it all in 2 minutes. But basically, he's intimidating people in the community. I pulled up in front of my house. They flashed a light. My neighbors next door, which are young people, and all young people aren't bad, and these are one of the examples. He yanked the young man out the car, and the young lady asked, he asked her to get out, and she asked the question. He said, "You do what the hell I tell you to do. We the police." So I began to tape it. And he overheard the conversation my daughter was saying, and he intervened. And long story short, he puts a flash on my car and says, "Get the unexpired plate," which it wasn't because it was a Ritter car. And upon my video, there's 3 other people that have had interactions with this same police officer. We want to do a better example for the young people. They should not be in fear of the police. Police should supposed to serve and protect, and they should be respected. But you got to respect people. And you talking to them in a derogatory way is not a way where young people want to be a police officer or want to deal with the police. And he argued back and forth with me. He wouldn't give me his badge number. He said he ain't got to give me nothing until I told him who I knew. And then he gave me his information. So I did file a report. You can see more of it. The video I did put out on social media. This police intimidation has to stop. We got to be more better with our community, with our relationships with the police and our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Commissioner.
before we move on, can we just have Chief Investigator confirm if there's a complaint in system on this issue?
Through the chair, we absolutely have that complaint filed with us, and it's currently under investigation.
Okay, thank you. Through the chair and Chief Investigator, I'll be in touch with you. I want to follow that case. Thank you.
Any others? Next speaker, please.
Caller with the last three digits, 039. Can you unmute?
Now, I just got off the Board of Police Commissioners counterparts over there at the Detroit City Council. Y'all all cheated in. Every last one of y'all. Janice Winfrey been cheating in elections for years and years upon years. And I gave the information, I got it directly to number 47. He know it, and he getting ready to come in and get all of y'all together. Absentee ballot fraud is real here in Detroit. Now, I heard what the officer said about crime scene analysis. Police woman did not shoot herself. There was no crime scene analysis done at the scene. There was no gunshot wound, no gun siblings on the entry wound. So I'm gonna take legal action, comrade. Now you were sitting right next to Janice Winfrey when she lied about the voter findings on the allegations of voter fraud report on May the 25th, 2024, at the Detroit Election Commission meeting. You were sitting right beside her when she lied, and she said that she sent a report to every member of council, the mayor's office, and the law department. You select slimy character. Now I want to take my hat off to James E. White, former chief of the Detroit Police Department, because it was him, calling in the Michigan State Police, that was allowed me to gain the insight and the evidence to demonstrate that Kanisha did not shoot herself. Y'all got to take the tag up off of Nini's mama. That's what she wanted. That's what she wants. What she asked for and requested and deserves. And she's Bedison. Rebecca McKay needs to be removed as commander of homicide unit. Chief Bedison, I know what I asked you.
Our next two callers will be Ms. Tara Brown and Ms. Joanna.
Good evening, Commission. This meeting has been a lot, but it is what these meetings are for. But I think that there needs to be a discussion around the Detroit Police Department's FOIA process. It is ridiculous how long it takes to get records from the police department. And when you do get those records, they're expensive, they're heavily and unnecessarily redacted in spaces, and it's almost like there's a fear of transparency coming out of not only the city, but especially the police department. I find it odd that people that were on the forensic staff and the crime scene staff who don't even work there anymore would band together to come here and tell lies on the forensic department. Something needs to change. And it is appalling that they're not getting the resources that they need in that department, apparently, and that there's an employee that gets paid $80,000 for 20 hours of work. Yeah, I'm gonna beat that dead horse until y'all figure out a way to better spend this money. And speaking of money, Thank you all for the budget presentation. And shout out to Commissioner Camille, because it did not go unnoticed that Commissioner Woods did repeat about that budgetary item that you found in that, I believe it was a budget or a policy meeting. I'd have to go back and look again. And also thank you and thank Commissioner Morris for helping me with some issues that I have had, because neither one of you are my district are my district commissioner. So I really appreciate that. Also, shout out to Scotty Bowman for being fair and reasonable with regard to not only his position as commissioner, but his commission on the zoning board when it came to District 5 and the bustle issue. Thank you for asking the questions that you asked, and thank you for being fair. That is my time. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Hi, good afternoon. I would like to say good afternoon to all commissioners. I would first like to say good afternoon, Commissioner Camille, which is my commissioner in District 7 in at the 2nd Precinct. My name is Joanna, Littlefield Eden Block Club President. I agree with a lot that was said today. It was very productive and active. I am disappointed with the police. We shouldn't have to beg for communication or a relationship with the police officers. I have been asking for police patrol in this area to protect the citizens, the children, what have you. Sunday, me and my family is coming home from a Monster Jam, and we get here on Griggs and Finkel, and a man just dropped past the stop sign and come straight out in Finkel, hit our car, spin us around in the middle of the street. My question is, what is going on with this tent? He has tinted tent all around his windows, even in the front. He's jumping out. I can't see. Of course you can't. You have tinted windows all around your vehicle, sir. Then the problem with the police is we sitting there. I called the police soon as I got my son out the car to safety. Call the police, no one shows up. 30 minutes, I end up calling back. They still didn't show up. An officer pulls down the street, riding down Finkel. My husband in the tow truck flagged him down. Unbelievable. He pulls around and turn around. He wasn't gonna stop. He just kept going. He turns around once they flag him down and say, oh, I'm not from this district. I'm not in this area. Well, what are you doing riding down Finkel, sir? Why aren't you somewhere doing something you supposed to be doing? Is the question that my...
Madam Chair, I'm
Yes,
sorry, I'll be brief.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Ms. Joanna, thank you so much for calling in. I hope that you and the family are okay after that accident, and I'll be in touch with you to make sure the appropriate filings are made in regards to your experience. Thank you for calling in.
All right.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Former Commissioner William Davis, and then our Zoom caller will be the last callers in Zoom.
Good afternoon. Can I be heard?
Can you make sure?
Hello?
Hold on. Can you freeze the caller? Can you make sure the child is okay back there? What's going on? He's good?
Okay.
Okay.
He just got stuck.
Are y'all ready for me?
Go ahead. Next caller.
Hello, are y'all ready for me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I think a greater effort should be made to assist the people to come in public that is there. I think we need to make sure that people feel like they can express themselves. I also think that we need to be doing more to encourage more people to be actively involved in this city and know exactly what the Board of Police Commissioners are doing. I know during the time I was on we did a couple of public service announcements. I haven't seen any in years. I think it should have some public service announcements. I think we need to educate the city. I need to maybe do some town halls to let people know what the Board of Police Commissioners is and what they do. And that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Zoom user.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jade Slaughter. I'm a Detroit resident in District 5. I'm just calling in to voice my support for the People's Body Cam Ordinance that's put forward by DARPA and CPTA. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Our last speaker is Mr. Charles Cousin.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Firstly, I want to thank the Chief of Police. I think he's doing an awesome job. I feel like if every police officer acted and thought like the chief, there'd probably be no complaints. But with great power comes great responsibility. A few weeks ago, I had come into the headquarters to make to speak to an officer about a situation that I had in regards to a fire being set to my house. And when I met with the arson officer, instead of meeting in private, he insisted on having a conversation in the lobby in front of a whole bunch of people. And while I was speaking to him, trying to gather information, he had abruptly stopped, turned his back on me, and threatened to call security on me. And I let the chief know, because I know he's all about transparency and whatnot. But then I went about it in a way like handling it using proper protocol. So I made a formal complaint against the officer, and I'm here in front of the board wondering, what is your guys' protocol when it comes down to police complaints? Because, a lot of us don't know, and yeah, I'm not really trying to get anyone fired, but there's been an echo in this conversation about police respecting citizens. And while there's a lot of great police officers out there who are compassionate and caring, there are a lot of officers, I don't want to say a lot, there are officers out there who are abusing their powers. So, and I'm wondering what you guys are doing about it. And I'm also interested in how many complaints you guys get on average a week. Thank you.
One moment. Can OCI Chief speak to that, please?
Through the chair, we do have Mr. Cousins' complaint, and it's currently under investigation. And also through the chair, as it relates to how many investigations or citizen complaints we received last year, we received 2,145 citizen complaints.
Okay, and I think his question was how many a week?
I think it varies.
On average?
On average, you take that 2,145 and you divide it by 52.
Maybe.
And be it. So.
About 41, 42 a week.
There you go, about 41, 42 a week. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Bowman?
Yeah, it's a follow-up, and perhaps this would even more satisfy our guest here regarding these concerns. What would you estimate the number of complaints are closed per week?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Number of those complaints being closed each week.
We were averaging about 100 to 120 complaints that are being investigated and closed on a weekly basis.
Through the chair.
Commissioner Morris.
How many of those complaints are from 2026? Where are we at with 2026 closures?
With 2026 closers, we have approximately 400, as of last Friday, we had approximately 400 and I believe 5 2026 complaints that came in. As you know, Commissioner, we have 90 days to investigate those complaints. There are a number of complaints from 2026 that have been investigated and closed, as well as a number of certainly 2025 complaints that are still in that 90-day window that are being investigated and closed as well. If you want the specific numbers, I can certainly email that information to you.
Please do.
Yep.
Thank you. Any other?
Madam Chair?
Yes, Commissioner?
Yeah, I just want to go back to one thing that Mr. Cousin mentioned as well, was a question around like what happens with those complaints, like what is done to hold the officers accountable. And so we can let Chief Investigator, if you'd like, share more about the process itself. But I would encourage everyone in the public, if you see any concerns regarding activity by the police department, to file that complaint. Don't be concerned about, well, I don't want to get somebody in trouble or anything. Our investigators are going to evaluate that against the policy and determine if policy was violated or not. And even if policy wasn't violated, we get insights from those complaints on how to improve policy and improve how we recommend that DPD interact with the public. So those complaints are very important, regardless if they land on discipline or not. In addition, my colleague, Commissioner Jones, leads the Citizen Complaint Committee. And so watch the website for those meetings if you would like to provide additional insight. There's an opportunity for public comment as well there. But the citizen complaint process is a very critical process in the Board of Police Commissioners, and we encourage everyone to participate in that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other questions? All right, thank you, sir. Next speaker.
Madam Chair, that was your last speaker.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we'll have the report by the Board Secretary, Ms. Garnier.
Madam Chair, excuse me, and through the chair, under your tab 6, board members, but before I do that, one other person that was registered that is in attendance today is Mr. J.G. Love, who's representing City Council Member District 5, Renata Miller. We did want to acknowledge him.
Thank you.
The weekly reports, facial recognition and shot spotter are under tab 6 for your convenience and for your review. And the announcements for the week are as follows. On next week, Monday, March 30th, 5 p.m., the Ad Hoc Committee for Bylaws and Standard Operating Procedures of the Board of Police Commissioners will be held at 5 p.m. here at Detroit Public Safety Headquarters in the Woodward Room. The Policy Committee will be meeting on Tuesday, March 31st at 3 p.m. here in the Woodward Room at Detroit Public Safety Headquarters. The next board meeting is next Thursday, April 2nd, 3 p.m., Detroit Public Safety Headquarters. And the April community meeting is on Thursday, April 9th. It will be in the 9th Precinct at the City of Detroit Hillman Recreation Center, located at 19601 Brock Avenue in Detroit. And those.
Okay, wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, could we just have it quiet in the audience, please? All right, go ahead.
And those are the announcements and report for today, Madam Secretary.
Thank you. All right, under item 7, we have unfinished business. The Chief of Police recommendation to appoint to the rank of Captain Lieutenant John Gardner. Is there a motion?
A motion to approve the Chief of Police recommendation to appoint Lieutenant John Gardner to the rank of captain.
Support.
Okay, it's been.
Discussion.
Wait, it's been moved by Commissioner Morris, seconded by Commissioner Watts. Is there any discussion? Go ahead,
Yes, if I
Commissioner Bowman.
recall, I believe we had postponed that from last week in closed session with the belief that we needed to discuss it further in closed session.
No, I don't. Go ahead.
We postponed it because the timing that we received the information, just so that we could take a deeper dive into the information.
Right. I do recall that.
would it be in order to move to go into closed session to discuss some of that information that we have?
Just, you have to make that recommendation.
Where's the parliamentarian?
Yeah, through the chair. The member will have to request that.
That's right.
That's not our.
Oh, it is. Okay, would it be in order for me to discuss a concern regarding some information I see here in my binder?
Corporation Counsel, you were going to say something? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
Commissioner.
My concern here is regarding the, on July 1st, 2009, regarding a plea of guilty for failure to properly search a prisoner, and the prisoner then was able to have a handgun.
Yeah, I will.
Go into the, into a cell block. That seems very dangerous situation resulted, and I was wondering, given that the chief's recommendation is to promote, how that figured into it, and whether or not how that was, if there was some feeling that somehow the problems this person had then were somehow resolved. I'm not sure.
So your question is to the chief or to the lieutenant?
I guess since you're right here, you made the recommendation.
And the lieutenant is here, correct?
Yeah, I'm just, either one of you could justify why we should proceed with the promotion in light of that.
Absolutely.
Chief.
John K. Gardner, on September 11, 2023, he was promoted to the rank of lieutenant. The former complaints, and when I look back at his disciplinary record, is not remarkable. The things are old, and it's not extensive. When you're searching, and we have searched, if you've conducted a search, you can miss something. Nobody's perfect. And so when I look at his record and what he's accomplished and how he's served the citizens of Detroit since, and looking at the record, I'm highly confident in his ability to continue to do more, even at an elevated rank. And as in going through, just looking at it, since he's been promoted to lieutenant, he's been assigned to the 9th Precinct as a lieutenant. He investigated violent gang crime, implemented strategies, operational plans, reduce violent gangs. His efforts resulted in a 10% drop in criminal homicide and 58% drop in non-fatal shootings when he was over there. He oversaw the 9th Precinct shot spotter enforcement, which saw a 29% drop in gunfire incidents compared to the previous year. When you look at his resume right now, what he's doing as a police lieutenant, he oversees a total of 7 units, all of which are joint operations with the Wayne County Sheriff Office, the ATF, the FBI. He supervises, monitors 7 sergeants, 7 detectives, 27 police officers, 6 civilian intelligence specialists. Last year, with the FAST, as far as apprehensions of individuals with outstanding warrants that we have to search for, in 2025, it was 1,117 felony arrests made. Total arrests, 1,164 arrests made. And so he's been doing an outstanding job for me in his current rank. And so when I look back at his disciplinary history, and for something of a minor infraction like that, if I were to hold that against him and all members of the department, I would not be able to promote nobody.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Commissioner Woods?
Well, I share those sentiments. We've been able to take a deep dive. What I look for is someone who has committed force on citizens unwantedly, have disrespected citizens, and we don't see that in Lieutenant Gardner's record. Actually, he has an impeccable record when it comes to his policing here in the city of Detroit, and so we did take a look through and through of his entire record because we always want to be careful. So there's no impediment from my standpoint of promoting him to the rank of captain.
Any other, go ahead, Commissioner Jones.
I'd like to call for the question.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
I'd like my colleague to consider that I have a question for the candidate before calling for the question.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have a question for the candidate, Lieutenant Gardner.
Is he here? Yes.
Thank you so much for being here today. So just taking a look, and I believe my colleague raised a very valid question in regards to just some mistakes that have happened, and we're all human, everybody makes mistakes. So can you just talk about, as a lieutenant, and then if you're promoted to captain, how mistakes that you've made in your career help you to be a better leader and to teach those that are coming up under you?
Yeah, for sure. When that incident didn't occur, I was fairly young on the job. It was a comedy of errors. I did acknowledge my part in that. As I've been promoted, and even as a police officer, I try to lead by example. I feel like training and thoroughness is very important, and just oversight, and where you notice gaps in training, make sure those are addressed, and just supervise and lead by example.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other question?
Sure.
Commissioner Morris.
I'm looking here to where he was a lieutenant at the 9th Precinct, which is in my district, from 2023 to 2025, during that 2-year period, as part of Special Operations, which is a proactive unit. They're out there to kind of for crime prevention. Under his leadership, there was a 10% drop in criminal homicide during that time. There was a 58% drop in non-fatal shootings. He has quite a bit of awards for perfect attendance, citations, Chief Eunice Award, as well as his extraordinary service that he provided on behalf of the police department for the funeral services of the legendary Rosa Parks. So thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Madam Chair, can we go back to Commissioner Jones' request?
Yes,
Call the question.
call for the question. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Thank you,
you
and
so much.
congratulations.
Point of order. I believe when someone calls a question and there's a vote, that vote was to end debate, and so now the vote would be on whether or not to approve the recommendations. The parliamentarian can correct me if I'm wrong.
Is she
Through the chair,
here?
I think that's correct.
Is that
That was a vote to call the question.
okay? We'll do it again. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Thank you and congratulations. Do you want to say a few words, Captain?
Thank you. Through the chair, I appreciate everybody. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you to Chief Bedison. I really appreciate your support, as well to First Assistant Chief Fitzgerald and Deputy Chief Sloan. She's guided me along the way for many years, so I thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, and congratulations. Next, we have a motion by the board to submit a memorandum to the City Council requesting they revisit the ordinance related to the release of police video footage and to support the proposed language from CPTA and DARPA for amending the ordinance. Is there a motion?
Yes. My concern with this.
Well, first up, we have to
I'm
have
coming with the
a,
motion.
make the motion and a support. So
All right.
you're making the motion?
Yes, the motion is to send this to the policy committee to review and make a recommendation to the full board.
Okay, so there isn't a motion to do this then. That's to send it to the policy committee,
Carter, support.
and it's supported by Commissioner Carter. Is there discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Our next item under new business is we're going to be going into closed session pursuant to Section 8F of the Open Meetings Act, MCL 15268F. Candidate Noel Morales for the board to consider disqualified applicant appeal from DPD hiring process. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved. Support.
Commissioner Woods made the motion, supported by Commissioner Jones. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have 2-minute recess. Motion carries. Going back into open session, and I'm going to call the meeting to order. Madam Secretary, can you do the roll call?
Commissioner DeWash.
Present.
Commissioner Woods.
Present.
Commissioner Bowman.
Present.
Commissioner Camille.
Present.
Commissioner Carter. Commissioner Ivy is excused. Commissioner Jones.
Present.
Commissioner Morris.
Here, right next to Carter.
Commissioner Watts is excused. Commissioner Williams.
Present.
8 present, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam Chair, I move for adjournment.
Second.
Okay. Wait. Motion has been made to adjourn, seconded by Commissioner Carter. Is there?
Woods.
Oh, I thought you made it. Okay, Commissioner Carter made the motion, seconded by Commissioner Woods. Is there any discussion, Commissioner Bowman?
Yeah, there is. I would like to make a motion regarding the thing we went into open session over.
I paused so that to give people time to make that motion, Madam Chair, through the chair, and there was nothing said, so the next thing is for us to adjourn, so.
I'd like to move to amend by substitution.
Okay, what is your motion?
Okay, I'd like to substitute for the motion to adjourn, a motion to approve the appeal of our previous applicant that we went into closed session for.
Okay, the motion is to consider disqualified applicant appeal.
Right, to substitute that.
Okay, and what you want to do is state the motion, because I'm not clear what you're making.
Okay, the appeal, I'm sorry, I gotta look at the person's name again.
Morales. Morales, his last name.
Okay, yes, to approve Mr. Morales' appeal is what I'd like to substitute as the motion.
Okay, there's a motion to approve candidate Morales' appeal. Is there a second? Is there a second? Okay, hearing none, the motion fails. Now, all in favor indicate by saying aye. For adjournment.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
The motion carries. There's one opposition. Thank you all for being here.